Hey there, my name is Pravus, and welcome back to the dark, dreary, and oh-so-brutal world of Gloomhaven. We've played this on the channel a few times in the past, so you guys are probably already familiar with this game, but the reason we're coming back today is because a new expansion just released, the Jaws of the Lion. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar, Gloomhaven is a board game RPG. It's actually quite famous in the gaming circles, and Jaws of the Lion is an expansion to that board game. Well, this is a digital adaptation of the exact same content, brought to us by Flaming Fowl Studios and Asmodee Digital, who happen to be the sponsors of today's video, and a big thank you to them for that. Of course, you guys can find links in the description down below if you would like to learn more. So, what can you look forward to in the new Jaws of the Lion expansion? Well, 4 new characters to start. That's 4 new mercenaries available right from the beginning of the game. And I won't go so far as to say that they are unbalanced, super OP characters, but they are very well-designed, unique characters with a different playstyle. And I've been enjoying these guys so far. They're really quite fun to play with, and I'll demonstrate some of those in just a bit. There's also a new storyline in the game with 25 new scenarios. And if you've ever played Gloomhaven before, you know that is many, many hours of very challenging content that you can sink your teeth into. It kind of follows a more linear storyline than the original Gloomhaven, which had kind of a branching story and many different paths to follow through. This one's more linear, but I like that, honestly. It's easier to follow, and it does kind of open up a new side of the city that we haven't had to experience so far, which is pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and reload a campaign that is already in progress for me. The Black Talons, playing with all of the new characters. Now, I will say, things might look a little bit different from the last time we popped into Gloomhaven. The map's been reworked a fair bit. There's now a distinction between Guildmaster and Campaign mode. Guildmaster having a lot of digital-only content, Campaign being the original game plus the expansions, which is what I'm doing right now. Also, Gloomhaven itself is situated a little bit differently in the world map. We can zoom in on the city here and see a whole bunch of fun new districts I'm sure we'll get to explore at some point. I'm pretty sure most of the Jaws of the Lion content is in the confines of the city itself, so we'll be going all over the place here. Anyways, alright, these are the 4 new characters that I wanted to show you here. We got a few to work with. We have the Red Guard, who is a bit of a tank character. He's actually pretty well-rounded, very useful to just run in and tank a lot of the hits, and also have a bit of extra damage and crowd control. Pretty ineffective against large elite targets, but against a lot of enemies, he's not so bad. We can work with him. Void Warden, a character who is really all about buffing and debuffing characters, making your characters stronger, mind-controlling enemies so they attack each other or move into traps, that kind of thing. And also kind of has the weird ability to buff us, but always at a cost. For example, heal a character, but also poison it, right? So there's a lot of kind of give and take with this character. Very unique, but pretty powerful, I think, so far. The Hatchet is a new range DPS character who has a special ability for his favorite axe. And if he throws it at the right target, he gets extra damage, but then he has to go and run and pick it up. So this character often is doing lots of damage and then moving to pick up his weapon so he can do another big hit again. He's pretty darn fun and does a lot of DPS. Then finally we have the Demolitionist. Now this is a character I haven't spent a lot of time with. Primarily a melee damage character, a surprising amount of control on the map. But with the small deck size, I don't value this character all that much because I hate it when my characters exhaust. That's pretty much always horrible, so this character can be pretty good, but I'm probably not going to roll with them. One fun thing that's new in the game since the last time I played, by the way, whenever you pick up a new mercenary, you can name them. So I've got Talcamar, Thornton, Asha, and Greedle. Those are my 4 characters, and I've had pretty good success with them all so far. For now, I'm just going to run with these 3 characters. These have been my core group so far, and I don't feel like I need the Demolitionist. Remember, every new character you bring in increases the difficulty. So, more characters mean more problems. In this case, 3 is very manageable for me. Now, note we already finished the first introductory missions in the game. You do need to beat those in order to access the new content, but after that, it kind of goes into familiar territory with the Inox Encampment and the Crypt of the Damned. These are the main game storylines. But instead, we're going to go into Gloomhaven proper. Now here, I've already finished the first couple of missions, starting with a roadside ambush of vermlings while we were investigating a missing blacksmith, which led to us discovering a hole in the wall where vermlings were attacking. So horrible things going on here. At this point, we now have a couple of different options. With my Void Warden, we have unlocked Warding the Void, so a new side quest specially detected by this character. That's kind of cool. Or you can continue the main quest line, the Black Ship. Roland, a key villain character we're just learning about, is the key to some disappearances within the city. It's time to ask around town. All right, let's go ahead and continue with the main storyline. And new fun fact, by the way, Gloomhaven has become like all fully voice acted now for the quests, which is great. It's pretty awesome to listen to.
The first order of business is looking for information on someone named Roland, who seems to be making a trade out of buying fresh corpses. You'd like to know why.
I could let you listen to all this storyline, but I don't want to spoil a lot of things in case you guys want to pick this up for yourself, so I'm going to go ahead and jump through all that. But understand that this stuff is new into the game. New voice acting, new quests, it all looks and sounds great. Okay, going into the mission, of course, you do have to choose your battle objective, a goal here, and every time you fulfill one of these in a mission, you get a perk point. Get 3 perk points, and you get a new perk. And perks are extremely important to improve your deck itself, increasing the likelihood of getting good attack modifiers for more consistent damage and outcomes. In the case of Tal Kamar, your health at the end of the scenario equal to your max. I probably won't get that. Never kill an elite monster or a boss. We'll try for this, and maybe I can let Hatchet finish that off. Thornton can kill the big guys. He'll just do a lot of the damage and not deal off the final blow. Kill the last monster to die? Sure, that seems fine. And then for Asha, never become exhausted before anyone else. Probably not going to happen, to be honest. She has a larger deck, so I guess I will have to go for the long rests. There we go. Oh boy, right off the bat, we find ourselves facing a lot of new enemies. I've never seen these guys before. They're new. Zealots. Oh, I think that's actually new to this expansion. Okay, and 3 out of 4 of them are elites. Well, I may have made a mistake choosing that goal for Tal Kamar, but oh well, we'll live with that. So if you've never seen Gloomhaven before, I would recommend you take a look at some of my past videos to learn more about how this game works, where I go into a bit more detail. But basically, this is a tactical RPG in hex-based combat. Everyone is going to take a turn having their actions. The goal, of course, fulfill some sort of an objective. In this case, kill all enemies in the room. Now, the way that this is going to work is each of our characters every round is going to get to choose from 2 different cards. And for those cards, they will signify different actions. We can use the top half of one card and the bottom half of another card, which means we need to be very carefully thinking through what order of actions we think we're going to want to take, knowing full well that depending on the initiative of these cards, we may not get to go as fast or as slow as we wanted to, and the enemy's actions might mess us up. So there's always a tricky balance between choosing the right attacks for maximum damage or healing or utility, while also being flexible enough to respond, because you never know for sure what these guys are going to do. In my case, with Tal Kamar, I definitely want him to run into the front lines as fast as possible, so I need a decent early card that we can make use of. I'm thinking probably Shocking Advance with 14 initiative, that's reasonably fast, and then maybe something like Harvest Sickle for some serious damage. That could be okay. Anything else strike me as better? Not really. I don't want to do any pulls or anything. We could do a Flame Shroud, but I don't think these enemies are going to move toward me very often, so I don't see that as being great. Could go for Desert Knight and just try to disarm an enemy. Yeah, that's not a terrible idea. That way they do a little bit less damage up front. And we start generating some elements that my Void Warden will be able to use. So I'm going to go ahead and try doing some of that to start off. And then we're going to go to our Void Warden. What do we want to do with you? Great question. I need to think about this for a quick second. I think we'll use Grasp of Doom with the intention of using the bottom half to move this character out of the way, and also using Wicked Scratch, which can make one of my allies within range get an extra attack in. That's kind of what the Void Warden does. Doesn't run in and do a lot of damage herself, but rather can either mind control enemies to fight each other or move my characters around with extra movement, extra attacks, extra buffs. Again, coming with some downsides and stuff. She's a very, very interesting character. And then for Hatchet, you pretty much always want to take the Favorite as your first top card, because this unlocks his special ability where he pulls out his favorite axe, and you can use this for the rest of combat. So this pretty much always needs to be the first thing that you are going to do. So I've chosen all of my movements. Now we're going to go ahead and end selection. Let's roll for initiative. The first card you choose is what's going to be your initiative. And you might think that you always want to go fast, and often I do, but there are occasionally going to be situations where you want to go slow. So that's why you can choose a very high initiative card in order to go last if you can. In this case, though, these guys are all going way, way late. Also, these guys hit like a truck. Oh, that's going to be a real big problem. Okay. It's fine. It's probably fine. Let's go ahead and move you forward. Running forward up over here. This is going to generate some light as an element, which I'll be able to exploit later. Let's see. This is a Zealot Elite. We probably want to disarm you, since you do the most damage. So we're going to start by attacking you. We could use my Warhammer to do a stun, but I'd rather save that for when I can do like a multiple hit attack, an AoE of some sort. So this will be fine for now. Let's go ahead and hit you. Now we're going to roll to see. Oh gosh, dang it, -2. Are you serious? Okay, so every time you do an attack, you can pull from your perk deck to kind of see whether you get to do extra damage or less damage. In my case, I got one of my worst possible draws. That's now been removed from combat. Thank God I was going for a disarm instead of damage, really, but still, that sucks. I'm going to go ahead and activate my chain armor right off the bat. And it might be a little early to do this, but I think this character is about to get wailed on, and I want to reduce all incoming damage by 1. So let's go ahead and use that armor now, which I think will be the right call. Okay, and I'm not going to use my potion. Let's go ahead and end our turn there. Hatchet is going to use the favorite. He's not going to do pretty much any damage this turn. Right now, this is all just powering him up. This is a really powerful ability with this Hatchet. We like the Hatchet. But for now, let's just go ahead and move him just a smidge into position. I'm not going to do a lot, though. I don't really want him drawing attention of things like the Hound. Although all these characters can move plenty, so I'm not really sure what I'm gaining out of that. But all right, what I'm generating is an air element I can exploit a little bit later. For now, let's go ahead and make use of Wicked Scratch on my Red Guard. Which, once she go ahead and buffs him up, he will be able to do an attack. And now I'm debating whether I really do want to do a stun, but probably not. Let's try to burn down this elite at least a little bit. Okay, there's a +1, so we do 4 damage this time. Okay, so at least that's something. Could use my Oak Charm to perform a Bless action. That's a special trinket I picked up, but I'll hold on to that for the moment. I'm going to pull you back 1 step. I'm not going to use up my Darkness element, and the reason I'm doing this is just to try and keep you out of range. I want these guys to wail on my Red Guard as much as possible. So we're going to go ahead and let them take their moves, and let's see what happens. They get a +1. Ow! 4 damage. This is so bad. ×2! All right, well, I'm wearing a helmet, so we actually reduced that down to just a regular +0. Now the Hound hit. All right, you guys are doing a little bit more than I think I was expecting you to. Ow! Ow! This is off to a really nice start, isn't it? Really nice start. Oh, man. Okay, this is going to be great. All right. We got healing. I'm probably going to need a self-heal, if I'm honest, because otherwise I think we might be going to die. Okay, we're going to use my fancy hat to buff up my attack, and then we'll use the Hatchet, Thornton, to try and do a little bit of damage. Okay, lots of movement, and ouch. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh, these guys are awful. I am not a fan of the things that I am currently seeing. Let's go ahead and do a bit of healing. This does get me some experience as well, and then I'm going to go ahead and move my character probably. I can't jump really in between them, so all I can really do is just kind of sit here and peel for these guys, but I can make use of one of my fire elements to try and get some shield, which will get me at least a little bit of damage protection. This is off to a terrible start, I'm not going to lie. But every time you jump into a new map here, you never really know what you're going to run into. Unless you fail, of course, then you can start over, so I'm kind of playing this one by ear. Sometimes I make it through this by the skin of my teeth. Sometimes. I'm not sure this will be one of those times, but I'd like to think that it is. Let's use my fancy hat to boost my damage, then center mass and see if we can kill off this big guy. Now, this is where I could use the favorite to try and just kill him outright with a load of extra damage. But as it is, we're already doing more, so even if I get a -1, I feel like we have a good chance of killing this guy. Instead, we got a +1, so that's plenty of damage. That takes out one of them. Okay, that's not so bad. Now we have the Hound coming in, but no adjacency, so it's not going to get quite as much damage as it would have before. That's why we did that. Now we're going to go ahead and apply a healing boon onto my Red Guard, which is going to poison him, but heal him for 5. That does mean he takes extra damage, so we have to be a little bit careful about that. That said, why not just go ahead and bless him? I mean, he's already poisoned. We might as well also give him some special modifiers to greatly increase his chance of getting a lot of extra damage in there. Fortunately, it looks like the Zealots actually didn't have any move or range. I was just slightly out of that range, so they got to do absolutely nothing that time around. Fan-flippin-tastic. Okay, what do we want to do next? Well, we could possibly go in for, let's say, a Harvest Sickle, which is a pretty good amount of damage. Maybe a jump and a shield there. Some good initiative. Run in there, get some damage on somebody. Maybe even take this guy outright or even hit the dog for a bit more. Maybe. I think what we'll do is maybe a suggestion and then Lure of the Void to disarm. And we'll just have some higher initiative to make sure we disarm the right person. And then finally with you... With you, I think we want to probably use something like Repeat Shot. And if we use the favorite, we can probably kill the wolf outright. Then I just need something that helps me move forward by, like, 2. So something like... maybe Second Wind? Sure. This would allow me to kill this, hopefully anyway, and then run in and immediately retrieve my hatchet, if all goes according to plan. Let's see what happens here. So the Hound is actually going to be attacking pretty early on. Okay, but still no adjacency unless it moves over here. If we actually stay where we are, we take less damage. If I move here, that's probably not a good idea. Now I'm wondering if we actually need to stay put. I hate to think that that's what we're going to do, but maybe? Okay. Well, we could still run anyway. What are you guys going to do? They got a fair bit of move and attack. Okay, we're going to run forward, land here. This will allow me to pick up gold. We'll also get a shield on here to reduce some of the damage, so hopefully we don't take too much to the face. Then we're going to go for a Harvest Sickle, and if I'm very lucky, we get like a +2 or a ×2 right now and kill this guy outright. If we're very lucky. Well, that was the ×2, but alas, we got to roll 2 dice, and we had to take the lower of the bunch, so I didn't get to do any extra damage. That is unfortunate, but oh well. I'm going to go ahead and use my Stamina Potion to pull back a card from the discard pile. And we're going to recover Harvest Sickle because that is my highest damage-dealing ability by a long shot. Okay, we'll pick this up. Got plenty of elements to work with, if only I had a particular use for them. So the Hound is dumb and did not move forward in order to do... But you still got to do 4 damage anyway. Oh, if the target is adjacent. See, I misread that. I thought the Hound had to move. No. Oh, oops. Okay, well, I should be able to heal through this anyway. Am I right? Probably. I hope. Gosh. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move you forward a little bit. Yeah, we're going to try doing a curse on this guy here, so he's more likely to fumble in the future. Okay, that uses up some of my darkness. Then we're going to disarm the big guy, so he doesn't have a chance to do 3 more damage against my character. It's very important not to take damage when you can avoid it, for obvious reasons, but especially because if you get down to 0 health, you'll want to start burning your cards out of your deck, rather than take more damage. And losing a lot of damage is a really big deal. It's a lot of cards. It's a really big deal. And the earlier that happens, the worse things are going to get for you. So be very cautious of that. So let's see. We want to go for Repeat Shot. I want to try to kill you off. I could go for you and use the hatchet, but it's not a guarantee that I kill you. I'd rather just go ahead and knock the wolf out of the picture. Save the favorite for next time, since I'm not feeling very worried about it. You're now taken care of. Excellent. And I'm just going to move you forward and grab the gold. I know we're fighting in very close quarters, but I think that's going to be completely fine. This Zealot's going to move forward. He did ×2! Ah, gosh, this helmet is saving me so much damage already. Wow. Wow, I tell you. Okay, we can go for Twirling Stabs, which will hit everybody. I like that idea quite a bit. I also like the idea of healing myself just a little bit using the bottom half of Shield Spikes. So we're going to go for that. We'd also like to maybe do some extra damage with you, and then we could possibly do a heal with Gift of the Void to try to make sure our character's tip-top shape. Before we open the door and move on to the next room, we need to be thinking about the future here. What we can do is attack with you. I could use my item, but I want to see what's in the next room before I use that up, because it's only once per combat. Then we're going to hit you. What are you doing, by the way? You're going to do a self-heal. The damage suffered by the target of an attack. Okay, so you're going to basically drain life. Fine. Let's go ahead and hit you here. +0 again. Okay, so we've burned you down at least a fair bit. And then we're going to move you back a smidge so you don't get hit. But I don't want to go too far because, again, I want to stay close to the door because we're going to have to run through there in a bit. Trying to hit my guy here, and the fact that we're poisoned is going to be hurting me a lot. This is one of the reasons I very badly wanted to be getting myself a lot of extra healing cards. You do -1, okay, so you heal for very little there. All right, that's okay-ish. This is still not looking great, though. I would like to do a heal on you. And unfortunately, because this guy moved out of position, Twirling Stabs is not going to be as nice as it was before. Nonetheless, we're going to try and pray that we get a +1. Nope. All right. Never lucky. Never going to be lucky. Regardless, we should be able to finish you off, which I will do. -1, doesn't matter. Still kill. And then we go for another heal here. and do this. All right, so you get a little bit more. Okay, now time is of the essence, because at some point you're going to start running out of cards. Then you need to do some long rests or short rests, which is going to burn one of your cards, and if it's a long rest, your entire turn. But you get to choose which card you're going to burn instead of have it be random. The more you rest, the smaller your deck is going to be, and at some point you run out of cards entirely and you get exhausted. Every single turn can matter. I've had way too many situations where it all comes down to the very last turn. So, yeah, don't dilly-dally too much. You really want to go for it. We're going to go for, I think, just some extra healing and stuff, and there's honestly not a lot that we can do with the Void Warden right now. By the time that we finish up this last character, I want to be able to rest, and then we can have a full roster of cards to then charge into the next room. That is the ideal situation. Whether we get it that way, different question, we will see. Let's go ahead and do a quick Harvest Sickle. Pray that we get some extra damage if possible, and nope, we did not. All right. But that's still a pretty respectable amount of damage. Then we're just going to simply move you forward. I'm not going to do anything else. Might as well pick up the gold. Okay. So that gets picked up over here. Then we have our Thornton going to do follow through. Yeah, we're going to go for follow through. Now the question is, do I use the favorite to almost guarantee this? No. What are you going to do? You're going to hit for 3. I can't allow that. We're going to use the Eagle Eye Goggles to increase my rolls. I get to pull 2 cards, and the best of them, ideally, is what's going to hit this guy. So I'm hoping that we get either 0 or +1, not 2 negative cards. That should increase my odds. Okay, so we got the +1. See, we could have gotten screwed over there. But this way, he doesn't get to do any of the extra damage. All right, so that's taken care of. Then we're going to simply move you forward over, let's say over here, for example. Okay, end your turn. And then for you, let's go for a quick heal on you. And I guess we could do 2 targets, but I don't need to. Okay, so we'll do this. A little bit of extra healing is always nice. And then we might as well just go ahead and run in here and grab the gold. So this next round, I think all we're going to do is have everyone rest. Okay, we're all rested up. I think I've got my actions. Basically, my tank is going to open the door, and we're going to see what's in there, and then I'm going to have lots of potential damage. The ability to move characters around, give them some extra shields if necessary, strengthen them, and some AoE with Muddle to try and make them more likely to do less damage. We're going to see how well this works for me. All right, so let's start by simply jumping. Actually, no. First, let's grab the Flame Shroud. Now, this ability right here, it's a little bit dangerous for me to use this. You know what? I'm not going to use this right now. Let's just jump in first and see what happens. A burnable card means it's removed from your deck, just like if you had rested, right? And the more cards you have burned, oh, gosh, there's a lot of enemies in here, and another room beyond it. Ouch, this is going to be a long one. The more you burn your cards out and the earlier you do so, the faster, like exponentially, your character is going to exhaust, which is obviously not good. Do I stay put? We have the ability to move you out of the way. These are wolves. They do extra damage if adjacent. I need to pull back and let them come into the door, I think. Yeah, so we're going to skip movement for this exact moment. We're going to shield you up. I'm going to get an attack in. Now, if you don't want to use the card itself and its actual effect, for example, I don't want to burn this, I can just do like a neutral +2 attack. That is also an option for us. So, for example, let's just go ahead and hit you. Try to bring you down to something reasonable. Maybe we'll get lucky and we can even kill you early on. I don't know. All right, and that, you... I wish I had done my order a little bit different now that I think about it. I think I messed this up slightly. Let's go ahead and use my special hat so we can get a little bit of extra damage. This is all going to be in range, so we should be able to hit both of you. I could use the favorite. If I use this on you, it's not likely to kill you, but if I happen to roll a +1, we might just be able to kill the wolf outright, which would be truly outstanding. We could also use this to just guarantee... Oh, man, I could really increase my odds of getting a +1. Do we just go for the kill on both of these? I think the answer might be yes. I think we just go for the kill on both of them. Let's go for it. Let's see. Okay, +0. Doesn't matter. Go ahead and take you out. +1. Yeah! Hey! Hey! Thank you, favorite hatchet. That worked out all right. Nice. Very nice. Okay. And then my plan had been to use some strengthen on this. Now I no longer know what I need to do. I think we're going to move you. Now that I think about it, maybe I want to be here. I want to leave the hatchet available for my my character to pick up next turn. And if I'm on top of it, I'm not going to be able to. We're still out of harm's way over here. I think this is safe. We'll go and pick up this gold instead. Seems fine. Okay, this should be good enough for the moment. Let's see. Spiders are going to be... Sorry, not spiders. Vipers are going to be trying to do a lot of damage if the target... Same thing as the wolves. Okay. So we don't want to get surrounded in this particular case. That's going to be a huge issue. Might want to activate the chain armor this turn at some point. We will see. Can I possibly just kill this snake outright? Yes, the answer is yes. We can definitely do that. I will also run forward using the Healing Sands move command here. If I move here, we can pick up some gold. I know it's only one tile, but I don't necessarily want to start next to one of these Vipers. I want them to come to me. What are you guys going to do? Range of 3. Okay, that may change things slightly. If I moved here, we'd be out of range. But odds are pretty good. They're still, well, I don't know. If I move over here, actually, and just skip the money entirely, we could be out of range of both of these Zealots, and they can't do 4 damage. I'm going to go ahead and say that that's worth it. Plus, by moving this guy with this ability, all attacks against us get disadvantaged, so we're more likely to not get bad rolls against us. All right, let's see if that actually ends up being good enough. Thornton is going to run in here and grab his trusty axe. That's really important to me. So let's go ahead and run you forward here. I actually used the push on this just in case I missed that snake and I wanted to push it into a trap. These traps here can do a lot of damage if you knock them into them, but we're not going to worry about that. Run forward over here. You'll be able to grab everything. You can't pick up the hatchet yet, but you will next turn. For now, we're going to go for the repeat shot. And here's hoping we manage to kill this thing so that the snakes can't get too much together. +1, perfect. That takes out a snake, which means there aren't going to be any adjacent targets. We're not going to suffer the extra damage from the giant Vipers no matter what. Fantastic. And we've got our favorite axe back. This is going pretty well so far. We're recovering. We're recovering pretty well, even. That said, I don't dare step any further forward. I don't want to get whacked by these freaking whips. Look how freaking huge these are. What even are these things? Those aren't normal whips. That's not even a real normal cat o' nine tails. That thing just looks horrible. Now, because I'm starting in a position where I'm already really far away from these guys, and I don't know what their attack is going to be, I'm going to actually use some very high initiative cards to try and make them go first. If they don't get to move forward, then they probably won't get to do anything this turn, which means I can have my last action and then go for a low initiative next time and just have kind of 2 actions in succession before they can respond. All right, so they are going first. You do move. Okay, so this may not work. However, even if they hurt me, they don't get to heal, so maybe it's still better that Ow! Still better that I didn't get to run in and do much of anything. Okay, this guy didn't get to do anything here either. There's the Viper. Hi, Viper. Aw, you do nothing. Oh, I take it back. You do some poison. That's irritating, but fine, whatever. We can handle that. Let's use the favorite. 6 damage there. That's actually really not bad. Not bad at all. I would love to get rid of these traps. Why can't we move on some of this? Oh, it's difficult terrain. Interesting. So we have to take extra movement in order to do anything. Now, this character I could probably kill outright, actually. Yeah, let's go ahead and use Lure of the Void. Click on you, confirm target. We can make you move, and then I can use my darkness to force you to move far enough to actually hit this trap and basically just walk over here and die. Hey, there we go. Not bad. And there's my hatchet ready to be picked up. Now we have to do some rests. I hate to waste a card here. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a short rest. Losing Desert Knight is unfortunate, but I'm not willing to take damage to try again. So we'll go for that. Beyond that, though, let's go for probably Flame Shard and Harvest Sickle to do more damage. Maybe we can kill this guy just outright. That would be fantastic. You, I think we will just use both of my cards and we'll long rest next time. You, I think you I actually will do a long rest, or will I? I don't know if it's really worth doing a short rest in this case. It's a bit risky that I get something I don't want. Let's go for the long rest here. I think that this is going to be fine. We should be able to kill off this target this time around without much issue. Should. Not a guarantee, of course. We could find that we get a horrible roll right about now. Okay, we got 0s. I was expecting to get -1s just to prove how horrible it can be. But we're fine. We're all fine. Hey, let's go ahead and move over here and grab this treasure chest. That's usually worth a lot of extra money. We got something. The doomed, what, compass? I got a doomed compass? How is a compass doomed? What does that mean? I don't know, but it's a trinket that we can use for the future. This room has not ended quite as nicely as the other ones. We had a weird stagger of rests, which is costing me a lot of cards. Not a fan of that. But the goal now is to use the Void Warden to force my guy into the next room. But before we do that, I'd like to, 1, loot, which there is nothing to loot, then strengthen you so you can get in there and do a bit of extra damage. All right, so we'll do something kind of like that. I might also apply the Oak Charm to you, just so you can do as much damage as possible. We're highly more likely to get like a 2 times hit if we do that. Then I'm going to go ahead and force you to go into the room. Just a little bit of mind control. We buff him up and he's like, I don't want to go in. You're going in, bud. You are going into that room. And then you're going to go ahead and drop a train on him. Plus, with disadvantage, hopefully you actually survive some stuff. So let's move in over here. Okay. Oh gosh, it's 5 enemies in close quarters. This is, oh boy, this is going to be great. Yeah, man, this is going to be what we call awesome. All right. How doest I want to do this? Answer. It depends on what they're going to do. Curses, attacks. You guys are going to do a fair bit of damage. We don't want anyone nearby. Okay, so we'll skip the rest of the movements of this turn. That ends the Void Warden. You are going to start by doing a pull attack on both of these guys. Confirm targets. Whack. Ah. All right, that sucked. And we'll hit you as well. Oh, we can pull you. Yeah, I want to pull these guys forward and prevent the Viper from getting any closer. So we'll do that. Then we'll hit you. ×2. There's the blessing. Dead. All right, well, now the Viper can come in. That's less good, actually. How can you move? You can. And you can jump, too. Oh, God. Okay. You can move 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I need to pull back a little bit. Just a little bit. How far do you move? Only 2? Yeah, if we pull back by 1, only this guy will be able to hit me this turn, which means I don't need to worry about using the armor yet. That's something we can use later. So this went pretty well. Hold off on that for a second. Whoa, God. Okay, he went further than I thought he would. Okay, fun. That didn't work out great for him. Wow, where are you guys all coming from? Okay, thankfully we had some shields, and the Retaliate's actually working tremendously well right now. I miscalculated something in here, apparently. All right, we're going to move. I'm only going to be able to hit 2 people anyway. So I guess I might as well do this. Don't waste the boots. We'll save them for next time. Not going to consume the air. I don't want to get any closer. Skip the ability. Then we are going to muddle you guys up. I'm going to use the Eagle Eye Goggles, and I'm going to apply the favorite onto, let's say, you, so we have a chance at possibly killing you outright. There's ×2. That's outstanding. Oh, that's not enough. I thought it was going to be better. I guess it is only 1 damage. Oh, -2 even with all of that? Well, that bites. That bites a lot. But okay. We're going to have to do some short rests this next round. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me. Move 1 on a bunch of this, but we get all of our turns first. Okay. So we'll start by hitting you, possibly killing you. Let's see if it works. It did. Fantastic. So you're out. Then we will go for the Flaming Sickle, which is guaranteed to do some damage, and then it's going to loot some of the gold I just got. So it's not a lot of damage, but I'll take what I can get. Thank you. Then we're going to burn a card with Suggestion, and I'm going to ask this guy right here to possibly kill his brother off in this direction. With any luck, he just kills him outright, which frees me up to move forward and do some stuff. So we'll move you forward probably like this. Unfortunately, we can't get in the way of the snake. Stop you, then attack you from behind. ×2! Okay. So we take that big guy out. That's working. Hey, we're doing something. This is kind of working for me. I'm getting it. And then we're going to move you forward up to where the gold is. And I'm going to muddle. Let's see. You can do a fair bit of damage. You're not that bad. You're the annoying one. We're going to muddle you to increase the likelihood that you miss, or at least minimize how much damage you're able to do. I don't mean miss, just like disadvantage. Disadvantage is what it is. Plus, we pick up a tiny bit of gold. She's also got a fair bit of health. She can survive a hit. We'll be okay. Now, that said, if I use this attack first, skip my attack, then move you here, we'll attack you then. Hopefully, we get a lot of extra... Okay. Would have loved to have seen something more than that, but all right, it's fine. Now we just kind of sit back and pay the piper and get ready to get whacked on. Ah! Yep, that's the whackage. That's the whackage I was talking about right there. Yep, wacka. Short rest. I don't have time for a long rest. We're going for broke here. Let's burn the healing sands. You are going to run in, and then you are going to do... Swift strength and try to kill the snake and also do damage to this guy and weaken him. I think we can guarantee that these guys die this next turn. Unless I do something really horrible that I'm not going to like. Which they might. It's possible. Let's go ahead and run it over here. Then we're going to use the swift strength. Whack, whack. Okay. Wish I could use my hammer. Okay. Unfortunately, we were cursed, so we did not kill the snake like I wanted to. And this guy's probably about to heal himself completely. Let's go ahead and apply the chainmail. Might as well at this point and make sure we take as little damage as possible. Then we'll end the turn. You're going to move back, which makes perfect sense. And then hit me. I'll take 1, which means you heal for 1. Okay, so we minimize his healing just a little tiny bit. Not a lot, but a little tiny bit. Then we are going to probably go for an attack. I'm going to still try to kill the snake so it can't do anything and apply poison to anybody. And I'm going to use my darkness to increase the attack up to 3. So even if you draw a -1, you still get hit pretty hard. Whack. Okay. Don't worry. We still got this. We're all right. Not worried yet. And then you, doesn't even really matter terribly what I do, but I will move wherever I can get some money. How about this? You move here. Perfect. And then finally, for our coup de grace, we are going to run you forward like this, all the way up. Ran through the trap, but that's fine. Run all the way up to this guy, then he's going to do a little damage. Guaranteed to hit, which is always nice. And then we're going to move you over here. And you're going to do a little bit more damage. And then we're going to move you a little bit more. And unfortunately not do damage there, but we can go for power pitch, which as long as we don't do 0 damage, there we go. Finishes this guy off beautifully. Okay. Okay, and also didn't we have a goal to like have you be the last hit or something like that? I don't remember. Either way, that completes a scenario. That was 1 hour of my time in order to beat that. Woo! Every scenario ends up being kind of like that. They're always a little bit frantic. We probably weren't even playing all that well, to be honest. I didn't do it perfectly because I'm trying to record, but they're all like this, and we obviously left a lot of treasure on the floor. If we had been a bit more efficient, we could have grabbed more of that stuff. But regardless, we won, and we get to advance the primary quest a little bit more. Also, we're finding some evidence about the whole missing blacksmith thing. That's great, but Roland is still out there, gathering corpses and kidnapping people for reasons we don't know. Hey, 2 more perk points. That is actually fan-flippin-tastic. I love seeing those. Plus, we get new perks for everybody, which just makes us that much stronger. That's awesome. Also, a ritual in stone is our new quest. Cool. So if you don't know how perks work, as you gather up these perk points and stuff, you can spend them to either remove certain types of cards out of the deck or add new ones in. I personally believe that removing bad ones is the best thing to do, so you maximize your chance of getting really good ones. Those are fantastic. I could even get rid of the -2 and one of my +1s in order to just make the deck generally better. And I think that's probably gonna be the right call. Yeah, or we can move 4 zeros, but you only want to do that once you've gotten most of your negative cards out of the way to guarantee you get as many +1s as possible. So we'll go ahead and do this, and now my character is just going to be a little bit stronger the next time that we run into a dungeon. And of course, making use of the money we have gathered up, we could go to the merchant and try to find a new set of useful items, which could be pretty helpful for me, and then equip said items in order to make our characters better, like so. There's lots of ways to advance yourself. One thing that you can do in the game is fulfill a personal quest for some of your characters, and if you do that, for example, help 2 other characters achieve their personal quests, then this guy would retire. Which sounds terrible, like it's sad to see well-leveled characters leave, but when they do retire, that tends to unlock some new mercenaries, and you can see there's a bunch of slots that we would like to play through from the base game that could be pretty good to add into our party as well. So we'll see how we feel about all that. But anyway, that is a look at the Jaws of the Lion expansion. 4 new classes, we played through 3 of them, new bunch of quests in the city of Gloomhaven itself, new enemies, same brutal challenge that you're used to. It's certainly a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to experiencing more of the story myself in my own spare time. But thank you all very much for watching, and again, thank you to Asmodee Digital for sponsoring this video. If you guys liked what you saw and you'd like to learn more, you can find a link in the description down below. Be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.